Hi, Josh Barker with RE/MAX Town & Country Real Estate. And thank you for checking out our market update for the month of August 2019. Like I like to do each month, let's go ahead and bring in the market sales report. Now this is for the month of July. What I'm going to do is circle this for you in red. Last month there were 282 properties that closed escrow here in Shasta County. If you go back 1 year ago, the total closed was 280. Now it's important to keep in mind that last year at the end of July is when our local car fire hit, and as a result, many escrows that would have closed in July were pushed off until August. So I suspect that without the fire last year, the numbers of sales this year would have been less than last year. Just something to keep in mind. Next is just to look at the active listing report. I'll circle this for you as red as well. Right now there's 1,146 properties that are currently for sale in the market, down from 1,187 a year ago. The biggest reason why inventory hasn't really grown at all is not only is because buyer demand's strong, but we haven't had a lot of new construction for purchase available in the local market. And with the reduction in supply means that obviously there's fewer homes overall for sale. And I think that's playing into right now why we don't see our inventories growing, especially going into the end of summer. Next thing to talk about briefly is just the appreciation forecast. We've had a lot of people that have asked, well, what's happening right now with home prices? And what I can say is that just this last week, interest rates dropped dramatically. Right now we're averaging 3.75% on a 30-year fixed mortgage. And what we expect this lower rate environment to do is to actually put some additional pressure on appreciation here in the local market. We expect prices to rise a little bit as buyer demand kicks up because of the low interest rates. Now those are really primarily for homes that are priced below $500,000. When you get over $500,000, the buyer demand is still a bit sluggish, and so we do expect to see homes still sell with some regularity, but we don't see the same level of appreciation coming into the market above $500,000 as we do for those homes that are priced below $500,000. And then finally, just to talk about briefly is a housing bubble, whether or not we have one and what that looks like. It's understandable, but there's a lot of people that have been asking, hey, is there a bubble forming here in our local market? And part of that is because we've had a really long period of appreciation. I mean, we've had 7 or 8 years of positive economic growth here locally, and that is certainly something that, people are watching. But the thing to keep in mind is that right now, we still only have about 10 or 11% of purchases going to investors. The majority of buyers right now are buying on either a fixed 15 or 30-year fixed mortgage. And home prices today, believe it or not, they're still slightly lower than they were in the previous peak of 2006. So we don't necessarily see a bubble forming here locally. Now where we do see bubbles starting to pop up are in destination markets, destinations like Idaho or Texas. Those markets, because of the increase in buyer demand in those market centers, you're seeing the inventory of homes being built and prices going up dramatically. In fact, they show some numbers now where you have about 80% growth in market cap in those market centers compared over the last 10 years. What that could mean is that as prices become way more costly than they are in our local market, you could see destination markets like Idaho and Texas begin to level off. You can see buyer demand begin to reduce. And I think Shasta County and markets like ours will become really attractive again because our pricing is so much more comparable or reliable in comparison to some of these bubble markets. So in any case, if you have any other questions about the market here in Shasta County, just know we're always here to help. Thank you again for your time today. Make it a great day.